Terraria 1.4.5 recently added Unbreakable walls, a special kind of wall that itself is unbreakable, but also makes the blocks in front of it completely unbreakable and unchangeable as well. It and the block in front of it cannot be mined, hammered, painted, exploded, wired over, actuated, or even raw teleported through in any way, shape, or form. It is used in the dual dungeon seed to guard the different layers of the dungeon behind progression. Under normal circumstances, differently painted walls will disappear after certain bosses are killed. Overall, it's a pretty neat block used to manage the back end of one of the more creative secret seeds from this update. However, unbreakable walls exhibit some interesting behavior when isolated on their own, and the one behavior we'll be focusing on today is how the lighting engine works with unbreakable walls. Unlike all other walls, blocks, and objects which interact with the lighting engine as you expect, unbreakable walls are binary. If an unbreakable wall is lit by any light, no matter how dim, it lights completely. If there is no light, it is utterly pitch black. For example, as you can see here, there's a diamond around me, formed from the light of the little orb lantern in front of the witch's broom. That's the range of the light it gives off. Of course, if I then dismount the witch's broom, it quickly goes away into darkness. Additionally, if I use a weapon that emits light, like the Daybreak, you can see the radius of the light move as it animates across the screen. This means the unbreakable wall is, surprisingly, a really interesting tool in visualizing how light is emitted by objects in Terraria. For example, torch brightness. If you've watched some of my really old videos, you might know that different torches have different brightnesses. White torches are the brightest, followed by ultra bright torches, with regular torches being somewhat alright, and most of the gem torches being way dimmer than that. Due to the game's light smoothing, this can often be hard to see, but here, it's quite literally night and day. You can clearly see here how white torches have a much larger glow radius than a regular torch, which itself has a much larger radius than the orange torch. You can even see the pulsating brightness of the rainbow torch as it changes colors. Neat. Weapons, of course, have all sorts of glowy effects too. You'd be surprised by how many weapons actually give off light. I suspect many of these are from the dust particles the weapons give off though, not from the weapons themselves. The Possessed Hatchet, Blue Moon, and Rainbow Crystal Staff are all examples of weapons that only glow due to the dust particles they give off when used. The Molten Pickaxe is also another example. It's actually the only pickaxe that glows due to the fire particles it gives off, which actually no other pickaxe replicates. Some weapons just have some really trippy effects. Fast-firing, high-velocity weapons create nice-looking pockets of light when used. The Mega Shark, Magical Harp, and especially the Laser Machine Gun are all examples of this. Pseudo-hit scan weapons like the Heat Ray and Shadow Beam Staff also look quite cool as they fire and dim repeatedly, creating this pulsing break in the night. The Rainbow Rod and Rainbow Gun vary in brightness just like the Rainbow Torch, which also looks quite cool. And of course, solid beam weapons are always nice. You can even see the lighting lag a little as I move it around. Interestingly, the charged blaster cannon is actually brighter than the last prism, despite the way sadder beam. That actually surprises me. Also, the lighting style you choose does matter. If you've ever wondered why retro lighting looks so much darker than color, it's because it is. Look at any light-emitting object in Terraria, and it will be dimmer in retro than color mode. Color mode also smooths out the light a lot more, which makes objects more visible than they would be in retro, even if they had the same brightness otherwise. From what I can see, color is generally brighter than white, which is brighter than trippy, which is brighter than retro. So that's something about these really peculiar Terrarian walls. If you want to play around with these on your own, whether for the lighting quirks or just wanting some unbreakable walls, it's as easy as simply using tedit to place them down in your world. They should be called wall_350, because they're ID 350. Thank you to Mr. Never on the Discord for suggesting this and first testing this out. I do wonder if there's anything else with these walls. For example, the mini-map. That's weird and different. Maybe that's for the future though. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing as it supports the channel. Similar videos are on the left and right. Either way though, thank you for watching, and good day, and goodbye. See you next fortnight.